So, it looks like we're about to say goodbye to a hero. Tissues at the ready. What's up guys, ChasingLamely here and welcome back to episode number 55 of Passport to Poland, and we're in January after the weirdest winter break we've ever had. We had a Winter World Cup that I didn't even check to see who won actually. We'll do that now. But usually our winter break starts in November and ends in February, and it's ended in the middle of December and it's come back in January. I don't know how we end up smaller with a shorter winter break. Germany beat Greece in the World Cup final. There's the height of realism for you. Argentina finished third, just narrowly edging out France. And I think I said before, England didn't qualify, so that was a thing. Also, I was considering, should it come up, applying for the job as manager of the US national team, because we have produced most of their players, or are producing most of their players going forward. The job hasn't actually come up yet. I've been kind of keeping an eye out, seeing if it appears, but it appears the manager of the US national team has survived, unless they've changed manager and I've not noticed. It's very possible actually, because I don't think Preki was in charge at the last World Cup. But then again, you know, weirder things have happened. It literally changed without giving me any notification, and I put a thing on it. It's fine. I don't care. We'll go for something eventually, maybe. Anyway, yeah, we're about to say goodbye to a hero, as I was saying in the intro. So we kind of, if I can find it, we kind of got a £2.8 million offer, rising to 3.3 with some instalments for Marcel Piaszczek, and the guy's worth 400k, and I've got about 4 spare left backs who can all slot in pretty much immediately. So yeah, we might be able to lose, and there's still a few clubs yet to chuck in bids, so you never know, I might even get more money for him. But you know, 2.8 is not a bad starting off point for negotiations. So that's what's happening. Also, you may have seen there's some movements going on the inside there. Kjell Scherpen's contract is coming up at Ajax, so I thought maybe let's take the kid. Let's try and get him if we can. Gabriele Bellodi's contract at Milan is ending, but loads of clubs are in for him, so I thought we'll try that. Same with George McEachran, Kolbeinn Birgir Finsen. These contracts are up, so I thought, you know what, we'll have a stab in the dark, and we'll see if we can pick these guys up on freeze and see what we can do with them. So that's going to be a thing. But today's episode, we've got a league game against Wisla Plock, and we have a cup game against Stal Mielec. So, you know, good times to come up. There's still a few friendlies there, but let's not pay too much attention to them as well. But yeah, so this is what's happening. We're playing Wisla Plock today, and we are sitting 6 points clear in the league for those who missed the last episode. And we're just trying to guide this home without causing too much drama. The other big thing is that John Davis has come back from his stint back in the MLS, and he's turned into a bit of a weapon. 4 caps for the US national team. He's worth £1 million now. He's wanted by like a few clubs either for loan or for transfer, but he's turning into an absolute beast of a striker. And I'm starting to think maybe after 16 goals last season, it's time to start seeing if he can be relied upon. So he's going to start today, which moves Kiev right down to the bench. Team starting to say, oh, I've somehow snuck Felipe Cruz in, despite not being match fit. That's an easy change to make. Yeah, Nico Williams will start at right back. Bellodi, Gueye, Piaszczek for possibly his last appearance. Finsen, Magoma, how unfit is Magoma? He'll be fine. Longstaff, Liss comes back after a long period out injured. John Davis and Keziah Sterling starting up top. With, I don't know how Fuat ended up on the bench, but that's neither here nor there. With Szapowski, Gomez, McEachran, Brown, Devine, right, Cruz and Miliuc, and whoever I put in for what's his balls that I've just taken off the bench, because I've got to work out what's missing now. Fullbacks are covered, midfield. Damien Gasco, why not? He's my go-to guy. Yeah. So a few things have changed. A few things have moved around. John Davis won't play the whole game. He's not really fully fit or match fit. But we'll see if he can come back with a bang. We've got to give John Davis a squad number, because he's been out for so long. He's lost his squad number. don't think number 3 is going to happen for a striker. I'm going to go with 28 because that feels like lucky. I don't know. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. I feel like we can maybe get ourselves a good old win. Hopefully, we are unbeaten since July. We've won 7 on the spin. Things are looking good. Anyone here we recognise? They've got a few new gens in there, haven't they? Joe Max Wilson. Everyone's signing the Americans. Americans are becoming the thing now. Apparently he's a good player, so we'll keep an eye on that, because if we've got money coming in for Piaszczek, he might be someone we want. Who's this guy? Joseph. Another American, Rafael Joseph, who's joining Orlando City after spending a year with 2 years with Wisla. So yeah, Poland is becoming a weird breeding ground for American talent. Raymond Hardenberg, a Canadian. We're just making North American talent happen here in Poland right now, apparently. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Be nice to see John Davis come back with a goal. I've offered him a new contract as well, hoping that he'll be with us for the next 5 years, which would be amazing, because we'll get some big money for him after 5 years. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, and things are hopefully going to look pretty good, although slow start to the game. Usually we've had a highlight by now. We've had a yellow card for them, and we've had a couple of shots that we didn't need to see. Let's get creative and hope we do something else. Well, we're at Wisla Blocker is 7th in the table at the moment, so they're 14 points behind us, which means there is room to improve. Guay's contract, by the way, is up at the end of the season, but I can't afford the £14,000 a week he wants. Good free kick from Valdemar Liss. I've got to say his name. He's been injured for so long. Yeah, it's Guay. I'm not paying 14,000 a week on his wages. Even if I could pay 14,000 a week on his wages, I wouldn't pay 14,000 a week for him. He's a great centre half, but he's not £14,000 a week worth of centre half in the Polish league when our highest paid player is on about 5. It's just that's not the money doesn't make sense to me. Liss with a corner, what can he do? Whips it over the top. Sterling apparently found it at the back post. The game stuttered a tiny bit whilst that was happening, which didn't help me follow the game. Durna with his goal kick finds Gabriel to Kabashali. Some absolutely awful tackling going on there, and now Wojtowski, I don't know. Wojtkowski, I don't know. Joseph had a header. I can say Joseph. Sherpen gathers it up easily. Let's do ourselves another get creative for the last minute or so before we go into half time. Belodi picks up the ball. What can he do from here? He's got the ability. Williams back to Belodi, back to Magoma. Magoma manages to somehow get the ball away despite being absolutely savaged. And now John Davis is going to run onto the ball. Can he get his first goal? He has got his first goal of the season. John Davis returns from his little trip back home and gets himself on the score sheet. A good old way to celebrate his return to his home club and to maybe start the John Davis era at Slask, because he is exceptionally good. Kjell Sherpen, by the way, joining full-time, or hopefully joining full-time, is probably going to be a really one season thing, so I can sell him on for a profit, because Bradley Wilson will be ready by then, and he's a far better keeper potentially. So he's definitely going to get every cup game we can possibly get him into. He's going to play, I think, for the next couple of seasons, or the next season and a half, as Liss picks up in centre of midfield. Longstaff, who's carrying an injury, we'll look into that in a second. Piaszczek, I thought he was going to go for a long-range screamer to say goodbye. Might still do it. He has done it. Marcel Piaszczek, his 5th goal of the season. And that's a pretty strong way to say goodbye if he is in fact going to be leaving us in the foreseeable future. Because, he's been a strong goal scorer for us actually the entire time we've had him in the team. You'll remember he had a rocky start to his career. He scored a couple of own goals in his first season in the team when he was our token under 22 player. He did develop into a regular first teamer. He's been our first choice left back for quite a while. But he stopped making silly mistakes and he started scoring a few goals. So I'm hoping that Reece Devine can step in there and won't, it won't lose us too much momentum. Sub-wise, it wants me to send Izzy Brown on. That's probably not the worst shout in the world. John Davis will be leaving us in the next 10 minutes. Because I don't want to burn the guy out on his first day back on the job. That's not the ideal. He's played well. He scored a goal. We're 2-0 up. It's usually about the time I do a praise shout, so we'll praise him like we should. Let us send off John Davis, or take off John Davis. We'll send Akierov right back in. Valdemar Liss is going to pose an issue bringing him off because he's obviously making his first appearance back from injury. But also, Szapowski is the only under 22 on the bench, and I have no under 22s on the field if I take Liss off. So that has to be the swap that happens. Wodkowski has whipped it in. Good clear up by Belodi, and now Akierov right has a chance to prove that he is still in fact the number one striker at the club. He's on a tearing run, 1-on-1 with the keeper. He's buried it. Akierov right saw the challenge of John Davis and just went, mate, I can still do this. Don't drop us just yet, Gaffer. Don't lose the faith. I've still got a few goals left in me. I can still go. And you know what? That's a fair shout. He's done well. He's given me something to think about, a lot to think about. I mean, the only concern I have with Akierov right is that he is, 28? 28 now. It's probably time to start thinking about moving him on. But also, do I want to move him on? Do I want to take that risk? I'm going to make this swap here, put Magoma up in the sort of more central role because I feel like, or the more central attacking role because I feel like there's less chance he'll get sent off. We'll swap Finson and Szapowski there too. Why the devil not? See what we can make happen. Akierov right by getting an 8 rating for a goal coming on the bench is a little bit harsh on John Davis because it's not like he came on with anything particularly special. Magoma with a corner. That's found Keziah Sterling the host. Now Keziah Sterling has 20 goals for the season. It's a 4-0 lead. We are absolutely ruining Wisla Plock as we continue our pursuit of our second extra classer title, our return to the Champions League, and hopefully we can start working towards thinking about how do we get to and through the group stage of the Champions League and start building our place as a major force in European football. As Finson plays the ball forward to Akierov right, finds Sterling. Sterling plays it back to Magoma. Magoma feeds in Nico Williams. Nico Williams, if he can get across. Nico Williams has gone down, and if I can find a way to maybe click the penalty button fast enough, in fact, maybe I can do it this way. I'm going to do the crazy thing you can only do when you are 4 goals to the good. We're going to let Kjell Sherpen take the penalty. That's going to be a plan. We're going to let Kjell Sherpen take a penalty. Why the devil not? Get him a goal for the first team. Because why not? It's 4-0. How badly can it go, really? There's 10 minutes left to play. Even if he completely balls this up, Wisla Plock are not going to score 5 goals right now. It's not going to happen. No Akierov right taking penalty. No. What happened there? I don't know what happened. I literally just clicked the thing, and the thing didn't do the thing. Analysis? Is it in analysis? I don't know how to make that change. Oh. Okay, we're going to hope it understands what I was trying to watch. It did understand. Okay, good. Kjell Sherpen from the spot. What can he do? Keeper versus keeper. Kjell Sherpen, he buries it. Kjell Sherpen becomes a goal-scoring goalkeeper, and that's heroic stuff. He's officially part of Polish football folklore as a goalkeeper who scored a goal, and that's all we ever wanted from the guy. Magic stuff. You'd think a goalkeeper scoring a goal, I know it's a penalty, you'd think a goalkeeper scoring a goal is an automatic 10 rating, right? You'd think that'd have to be. A clean sheet and a goal, that's a 10 rating. But it looks like Piaszczek is going to take the Man of the Match award today, which is good stuff. If this is the last time he plays for us, he's chosen an excellent time to win a Man of the Match award and say goodbye properly. And that's a 5-0 win, which should massively increase our advantage at the top of the league. Matthew Longstaff, how long is he out for? 5-6 days, I think we'll handle that. Tope, how's he doing on his loan? He's not doing too badly at all, he could develop. Let's do an attending of the press conference. We managed to extend our run of form over Plock. How do we feel about that record? Good. Will the players get... Absolutely they'll get a day off. So it was on the cards to be an exaggeration. How pleased are you by the outcome? I think that's really unfair, because it was on the cards. We're unbeaten for most of the season. That'll do. There was no option there that reflected the situation we're in. Result puts pressure on Lecce ahead of their match. Well, yes. Made the half-time team talk easier. Everyone did in fact enjoy Akiari Wright's goal. Joe Ledley, I forgot to mention Joe Ledley announced his decision to retire at the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to play. We'll just say pleasant things about him. We'll praise Mr. Marcel Piaszczek. I'm a bit sad that he's going, but he is expendable logically. They're still talking about how... Oh no, they're now talking about how we managed to win the league, which is good. They've stopped talking about how we almost got sacked. Right. Let's go away, come back, play Stal Mielec, see what happens. Hopefully we can keep our cup run going and finally give the board the cup final they so desperately want. So we're back for the game against Stal Mielec. The FA Cup third round is what is happening right now, and there's been transfery stuff happening, not necessarily all the transfery stuff happening. We got a big old bid in though for Marcel Piaszczek from Mainz, which is 2.5 up front, so less than the Sassuolo offer, but rising to 4. The board said, we're going to take this, you don't have a choice. I asked them to negotiate upwards, and they are working on it, so that might go up, and that Sassuolo offer might just casually disappear with a little reject click, because if they can get that up to 4.5, maybe 5 as the back end, that's magic. Elijah Box and Dixon Bonner, I think I already showed you, was going as well. I rejected an offer for Valdemar List, lots of offers for Valdemar List in the sort of 1 million-ish range, because that's not enough money. Who else is leaving us? Shaflarski, who was a youngster who came through, was never going to make it. He's off on a free. Marcin Dolgan is off to Mieszko on a free as well. That's the offer I rejected on loan for John Davis to Granada, which I guess is still first division, so it would have been good for him but not good for us, so I didn't take it. Also the other John Davis had some loan offers, and Nino Saparovic, who was on loan in the States last year, is going to Gornik, so that's going to be someone to watch out for. Once the window opens, there's no one coming in directly, but we have confirmed Sherpan, we have confirmed Belodi, we have confirmed McEachran. We're just waiting to hear back on Finson, and then I can see what I'm going to be doing for the window when it opens, with hopefully some money burning a hole in my pocket, because if I have to replace Finson, that's going to be the priority. Right, today's game, like I said, we're playing Stal Mielec. We're 4-6 favourites. We are in excellent form. Mielec are currently sitting in 8th in the first division in Poland. They're a pretty good side. We've played them quite a lot, actually. We've played them twice. It seems like they always come up either trying to buy our players or other things. CB van der Meulen is on loan from us, which is why he's ineligible for the day's game. In terms of team selection, though, we've made some big old decisions. So Wilson starts in goal. Bradley Wilson, our sort of wonder-kid-ish goalkeeper. Bujalski, I don't know if we've seen Bujalski before. Bujalski hasn't, I don't think, made an appearance since last season. He made one appearance last season when we signed him from Belkotov. He's going to make his first appearance of the season. Igor Gomez starts next to this guy, Nicolas Pash, who we brought in on a free, I believe, in the summer to develop as a long-term guy, the Argentine striker. I think I showed you him when we signed him, the Argentine centre-half, but he hasn't played for us yet, so this is his debut, and Reece Devine starts at left-back, because Piaszczek was, we're not sure what he's going to do, and I don't want to injure him before he makes us a lot of money. Right, playing as defensive midfielder, we have this guy Gaston Gomez, who I think I showed you also when we signed him. Another Argentine 20-year-old who came to us from Rosario. He's currently wanted by whoever Guillermo Brown are on loan, but he's going to get a chance to show us something today. This guy, Martial Maciej Fiole, I'm never going to learn to pronounce his name, but he's got some good potential. I've converted him from a right winger into a central midfielder. We're going to see how he does. It's a low pressure kind of situation. If he doesn't perform, I'll just replace him with someone off the bench. It's not too much of a problem. McEachran we've seen. Lisp we know. Staviarts we've definitely seen in a previous FA Cup game, I think. I think he's played one cup game for us, maybe. Played a league game for us. And scored in it. So I'm sure we live commed that one. In fact, he's the wrong way round. That's going to annoy me. Right, he's starting as the pressing forward. John Davis will start, but he will only play about 60 minutes. On the bench, Williams, Piaszczek, Belodi, Benavides, who I don't think we've seen before as well. Another 24-year-old Uruguayan player we brought in, who again some big upside. And if he doesn't reach his upside, we'll just sell him for a good profit. He came in on a free. Nothing to lose there. Magoma, this guy Bacardi, I know we haven't seen before. Tomasz Bacardi, an 18-year-old Argentine who we brought in on a free from Quilmes. He is very competent at playing as the advanced forward, as the backup. Some big-ish potential. I think he's going to be a guy we develop and sell rather than a guy we develop and becomes a key player in the team. But we'll develop him nonetheless. Wright, Longstaff and Mielec, we know those guys very well. So, into the game, Igor Gomez will captain. We've got to give someone a shirt number. Bacardi wants number 14. It's not free, so 64 it is then. Apparently 64 it is. He's won that one. Right, like I said, Mielec, they're a long way below us. We're in kind of dominant form in the league. You'd think we could get a result with the players we have. None of these guys are ex of us, because the only player they had from us is currently unable to play because he can't play against his parent club, which is us. Yeah, let's just do the thing we do. In the tunnel, what's it going to say? Both teams coming in good form. I enjoy them a lot. Eagle Gamers takes the captain's armband. He's the best choice, that's obvious. Konrad Jaloshka is on a fairly length run without conceding a goal. Can your team end that run today? I suspect so. We just scored 5. Sprung a few surprises for your team selection day. What's the thinking behind that? This is one of those questions in press conference that needs a "we're developing youngsters" thing. We'll do that. Why not? It's the closest we have. Into the game, boys. Into the game. Let's go. We're obviously in the green. Mielec in the white. Matuszek has done some kind of hacking of the ball clear. Sadlocka is chasing it down, but Igor Gomez will pick it up. It's the first time he's played in a while, so he's not fully match fit, but that's fine. Bajalski gets a chance to show us what he's made of. Liss to Gomez. Gomez puts the ball back over to Bajalski. Bajalski, what can he do? Flicks it in to John Davis, who unfortunately has a man in the way. One is a corner, so hopefully Valdemar Liss will be the man on this, and he can put it onto the head of someone who knows how to score goals. Liss whips it in. Doesn't beat the first man unusually for him, and now Dungel is going to hit us on the break, and we need to maybe think about doing a defending here. That would be ideal. McEachran, he's just gone right through him. He's going to get sent off surely. No, he survived just, but that looked dodgy. Just whipped his legs out from under him. We should encourage our players to play try a more direct passing play. I don't think we will. Pass with a throw-in to find Staviarts. Devine, McEachran, Gomez, Liss. That passing football apparently taught well throughout the club. Bajalski has a chance. John Davis from very close range just puts it wide. Bajalski cutting inside. Interesting choice, and now he's got himself sent off. Obviously, also got himself injured. Potential foot injury, which, I thought it would be a nosebleed, so that worked out okay. Sending Nico Williams. The trouble, I think, when you're playing against a team like this that we've set up, when you're Mielec, is that if you injure one of our players, I send on someone better than the guy you've injured, because I've rotated so much. So you'd question your hard tackles a little bit, wouldn't you? I don't think you go in hard on a Barcelona player if you know they can bring up Messi. I'm just saying. Igor Gomez is going to pick this up and hopefully build something from the back and not make a silly mistake. The striker charging down scares me a little bit, because Igor Gomez, I know, can make weird mistakes at times. Volovitz to Trabka. Gomez picks up the ball, or tries to pick up the ball, but he's not really won it. And now Sobasic hits it forward to Dungel. Nico Williams is never going to do tackling if he doesn't have to. Back post to Mack, and we're finding ourselves 1 goal down against Stal Mielec, which is just frankly embarrassing. I think I have to go a bit more attacking, and I think I'm going to have to do a show some passion, because I'm not losing to a team in the division below. Not if I don't have to. Was that Reese Devine? Assuming that was Reese Devine doing Reese Devine things. They've been fired up at being asked to show some passion. There's options on the bench if I need them. I just don't want to have to need them, to be honest. Jalocka, what can he do? Maybe give the ball to us would be a nice choice for him, but it's not going to be what he goes for. Williams to Davis. Davis picks it up. Back to, I'm presuming Nico Williams it was. What can Nico do? Anything good? McEachran, Gomez, ball forward. Finds Devine on the run. Staviarts gets himself his first goal of the season with a header. And he's now made 2 appearances for the first team and scored 2 goals. Which means maybe it's time for him to go out on loan, and we'll see just how good a player he can turn into. Because it'd be nice to have a homegrown striker, someone for the fans to latch on to and all that good stuff. Bit of a full house happening here at Mielec too, which is nice to see. But Staviarts with that header brings us back onto level terms. We're going to do some encouragement, because encouragement is always the right way to play this thing. They're slightly fired up by being encouraged, although we're going to have to defend again, which is not what we want to be doing. Trabka, what can we do here? What was that? Can't get rid of it. That was utterly poor. Utterly poor. Right. More ideas, guys. More ideas. Put ideas in the comments. It's not going to help, but put ideas in the comments, because we like ideas. I like to see what kind of creative solutions you guys can come up with for me in situations like this. John Davis is not going to last 60 minutes at this rate, but, you know, kind of a, well, Gary Wright walks on the field when I do that. That's not the worst thing that can happen to us. Not the worst thing that can happen at all, actually, in this situation. I don't think I've actually ever had one of these cup games go to a draw, so I don't know what happens. I think it goes to extra time and penalties rather than a replay. Williams to Furley. Back to Williams. Williams will, you know, take his time. He's got time. Gomez back to Gomez. Gomez linking up, which is interesting to nobody. Gomez, right, ball all the way back to Wilson, giving him a chance to understand what a ball feels like when it's not picking out of a net. Pass. What can Pass do here? Big ball forward to Reese Devine. Heads it inside to Valdemar Liss, who's come very deep. Way too deep. His own man gets in his way. Pass with the ball forward. What can we do here? Williams, Nico Williams, the Welsh wonder. He's kind of beaten his man, gets a cross in. Staviarts at the back post. Jalocka has turned it behind. Staviarts is looking very, very dangerous. If I can get him on loan to a club like Mielec, we might see a star being born. Liss with a corner. What can we do here? Nothing at all. Gomez back to Liss. What's Liss got? Maybe a cross? Nope. No crossing. No crossing today for Valdemar Liss, who apparently is still a natural winger, having only played there 3 times for us. Devine, what can he do? Back to Paz. Got to kind of do more forwardy type moving. McEachran, what's McEachran going to do for us? Something big, hopefully. Devine isn't really a big move, but there we go. Liss is definitely the least big move. Furley, he has a pop from distance. Maciej Furley, that's his first goal for the club. On his debut for the club, pretty sure he just made himself a hero. Pretty sure he just made himself a hometown hero with his first goal for the senior team. And, well, he definitely gave that some. From distance as well. It's a way to introduce yourself, for sure. It's good times. It's good times. Good times happening all around. Right, it's going to be time to take John Davis off, because he's starting to tire out. Kerry Wright is the natural replacement. Bacardi is more of a Valdemar Liss replacement. We need to keep an eye on Reese Devine and George McEachran. Devine is tiring. McEachran is just being awful, if we're completely honest. It's going to be a kind of see how that goes situation though, because obviously Devine can be replaced by Piaszczek, who gives us both an attacking option and some defensive security, whereas McEachran can disappear from the game if we need him to. It doesn't really make it, or if he wants, it doesn't really make a difference. In fact, we're going to do that right now. Send on the Piaszczek, make it happen. Maybe he can get himself another goal. You never know. 2 goals in an episode. It's happened before. I'm sure it must have happened by now. He scores way more often than you'd think he does as a left back. Gomez picks it up deep. Where's he going to go with it? To his mate Gomez. Back to his mate Gomez. And there we go. Williams heading forward. Nico Williams with a big ball down the line. Finds a Chiari Wright who's more than comfortable out wide, but he's given it away, which is uncharacteristic of him. Gomez wins it back. McEachran. Burley. Back to McEachran. George McEachran finds Paz. Paz puts it forward to Piaszczek, and now Marcel Piaszczek has a chance to whip it in. Finds a Chiari Wright. He's done that more times than you'd think, and it's just gone over. And yeah, it's a bit of a narrow lead. It's more narrow than you'd want it to be, I think, at this stage. But I guess we're just going to hope we see this one out. Hopefully it'll be good for these players getting that bit more experience. Trabka has a free kick. Valdemar List needs to stop standing in walls. He's still like 2'3". He doesn't need to be standing in a wall ever under any circumstance. I mean, mostly I think if you were the player taking the free kick and you saw him stand in the wall, you'd just laugh in his face. Williams throws it to Furley, to Gomez. Gomez back to Williams. Big ball forward. You'd think Wright will pick that up, and he does. Where's he going with this? Maybe a ball inside, maybe a cutback. Crosses it inside. There's no one there. There's a lot of guys on the edge of the box. Liss, McEachran. McEachran has options. Wasn't anywhere near the first choice I'd have made there. Paz just hoofs it all the way back to Wilson, because why wouldn't you play your keeper into trouble when you've got a 1-goal lead? Hoofs it to Liss, and that's a big ball over to Staviarts. Staviarts just has left everyone for dead there. I don't think he's a particularly pacey player. McEachran from deep. It's going to be offside. I think Chiari Wright touched that and he didn't need to. Let's have a look at this. See if he was actually. I mean, he was there, but that ball doesn't go anywhere near him. He's not interfering with play. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. He was stood next to the goalkeeper. He wasn't obscuring his line of vision. He wasn't in the way. You've got to be disappointed with that, I think, if you're McEachran. But we've had a 2-1 win. We've found our way through to the next round of the cup, and let's see what the press have got to say, and then I'll come back for the quarter-final draw, and we'll see who we're playing, because I think that will be the next. In fact, before I do that, let's see when it's actually scheduled for the next round. Third round scheduled then, quarter-final draw, presumably. Wow. 2 months away. Alright, we're definitely going to come back for that, I think, because that just about fits in with the timeline for a next episode. I'm going to do a cut because we're not going to another press conference. We'll come back in a second when I see who the draw's against. Okay, it's time for the FA Cup draw. Before we do that, sadly, sad news, Marcel Piaszczek has left us. He joined Sassuolo because the Mainz offer was withdrawn and nobody else put in a bid for him, despite there being a massive pile of clubs that wanted him. So, yeah, 3.3 million was what he went for. Unfortunately, Vitzu have somehow managed to get 1.4 million out of that, which is weird, because I don't remember signing him. Unless he was signed before I got here. It's possible. Let's have a quick check. He was signing the season we joined. Fancy giving away 50% of that. Either way, we've got 850,000, I think it is, or somewhere in that region, plus some instalments to come in to spend on players. We'll do the draw in a second. We'll just have a quick check on what we're looking at in terms of transfer budget. Just over £1 million to spend, which we have to shift a little bit of that into the wage budget to be able to actually make use of it. Maybe around there-ish. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll have to shift some of that into wage budget just to be able to buy players, because also the big news was that Finson decided that he was going to join Hanover 96, which is deeply disappointing. He didn't want to sign for us permanently after being here for so long, but also I suppose they're in the Bundesliga. He's been on loan from Dortmund for the last, 3 years? 3 years, yeah. He's been, 4 years. It's 4 years now he's been here. Anyway, he's been here a while. Where did that time go? He's been here a while, and yeah, it's very much a case of, unfortunately, he decided not to stick with us, which is disappointing because he must have been due a Polish passport fairly soon. Um, he doesn't see the benefit in it. He's already due. Yeah, so he's going to be leaving us, which means I do need a holding midfielder. If we look at the options I have in holding midfield, or defensive midfield, for those of you who don't know what it was called, a holding midfield, our best non-Finson offer option is Alex Rico, who is now most assuredly not for sale. I think we should say that for sure. He is not for sale under any circumstances. Behind him, Mielec isn't really the guy. He's the utility guy that covers everyone. Magoma is a central mid. Benavides is not quite there. Gaston Gomez is not quite there. Szapowski is a few years away from being there, and Bargel is further up the field, I think, in my head. Also, though, we do have, I think we've got a couple of guys out on loan, now that I think about it. Nolan and Bemba is about as a possible option to replace him. Sprissa is about. Alex Sala is about. We have options, but even so, I need to work out how we're going to make best use of that money. So that's going to be a thing. But let's look at the FA Cup draw, and we can wrap up the episode and bring it home. Anyone there we don't want? To be honest, I think as long as we can avoid Leisure, maybe Jagiellonia will be okay. Now, I said that we'll get Leisure or Jagiellonia because there's only 4 games to draw. You know, statistics. Betovia. Take Staglevy off the table. Lots I don't really want. Rakov is alright. Go on, Odropole. Yes, that's the one I want. That's the one I want. That's the, apart from Betovia, the best possible draw. Because Leisure and Jagiellonia should take each other out. Because this is the quarter final. You'd expect Rakov to lose to Lots, maybe. Staglevy is a good possibility of us getting to a final. There's 3 games left. So, let's have a look at when that's happening. That's happening March the 8th, which in our little run of games coming up works out quite nicely. I wanted to come back for the Lots game anyway, but that's going to be too soon maybe. I think we'll do Arca because they're due a suffering, and we'll do Odra Apole in the next episode, and then see where we're at, because there's no point in us playing the Domiak game. Yeah, that works. We'll come back for the FA Cup game. So, right, let's wrap things up because we're well into the deep epic episode type things. We haven't done one of those in a while. Right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, socials are below. Like and subscribe there. Like and subscribe, because if you like and subscribe, Jesus will bring you Easter bunnies. As always, thanks for watching. I've been ChasingLamely, and until next time, have a good one.